Hi, my name is Kotnesa.
And my name is Marek.
And this is our little baby Zalea. Well, she's on the monitor. And we're gonna share our birth story with y'all. Lydia was our doula and she was amazing. So we're gonna talk through the day. March 17th, I was in the middle of sleeping. It was 8 a.m. And so I jolted awake and I was like, oh my gosh, my water broke. Babe, my water broke. And then we were kind of trying to figure out what to do from there. It's almost like literally everything that kind of just goes out of the window. It's our first one, so we literally are like, what do we do? I'm like calling Lydia. I'm like, my water just broke. She's like, okay, chill, get something to eat, shower, relax, get some rest, all the good things that we should be doing. And then called my midwife and they were like, same thing, chill, just get a meal, just rest. We went into the birth center about 12 that day.
Yep.
And
they sent us back home.
Yep. I was dilated at a 2. She was like, I can see hair. Because they wanted to check to make sure that my water had broken. And then when she went to check, it had broken. And so then she was like, yeah, contractions aren't that close together or that strong. So just go home. Gave me some castor oil to drink, which was an experience. And yeah, then we went home. We were actually talking about it today. That day we were just hanging out, we were running errands. We went to a fast food restaurant and a grocery store. We weren't about to have a whole baby that night.
Yeah, it's funny because I always thought about when the water breaks, the baby's coming. But for us, it was totally different. The water broke at 8 a.m. and the baby didn't come until after 9 o'clock p.m.
Yeah.
So it's that caught me off guard. I didn't think about that or know about that beforehand.
So once we got done running our errands, we went home and we're just chilling.
Before the real contraction started.
Yep.
And so then around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock p.m. that evening, that's when she really started having them, and she was going into needing the back pressure, the center back pressure.
That was about an hour after I took the 2 ounces of castor oil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was sitting eating, and I would come over and give her the pressure during the contraction, and then after the contraction was over, she was in a calmer state. And I would go back and finish my food, and so it was this little back and forth process, and really we were laboring basically at home the whole time, and I didn't really think about it like that.
Me neither.
But we were essentially laboring at home. I was thinking we were getting ready for the real deal, but the real deal was happening right there in that room. And so we were texting back and forth with our photographer and Lydia and the birthing center and everybody, and mostly it was just stay calm, let's let them get more consistent, let's let them get stronger. And so we continued to wait until it got to the point that she was not really responding like that. So I'm okay, everybody's saying we still got time. I don't feel like we got time. So I'm all right, we leaving. So we got everything together.
No, say it so he called the midwife. He was like, listen, I know this is our first baby, but we gotta come in. She's about to have this baby.
Yeah. So we grabbed everything, jumped in the car. It's freezing that night. It was really cold. It was really, really cold.
It was so funny too, because while we were on the way, I would literally have him put the window down whenever I was having a contraction because I was so hot. And then after the contraction was over, I was like, okay, put it back up, back up.
Window up, window back up. Okay.
Yeah.
So we get to the birth center, get everything out the car. She starts having a contraction, and she stopped dead in her tracks outside. She hates the cold, but this didn't bother her one bit that night, and just stopped and put her hands on her knees. And the doula is up at the door, up the steps, waiting on us. And the nurse, not the doula. So she's got her hands on her knees. You get through the contraction, and then we go inside.
I think I probably had a couple more contractions before I was checked. They're like, okay, let's check you. Let's, it seems like the contractions are coming in pretty strong. And she checks me and she's literally like, okay, we're at a 9. I was like, and then I didn't even put my pants back on. We went over to the room, and I was just like, I can't, like, I just need to get in this tub. Literally almost missed the tub because they filled the tub while I was there. And I think maybe 1 or 2 contractions later, I was in the water and I started having the urge to push. I started pushing at 10 and she came out at 10:19. Yeah. Yep, it was 19 minutes of pushing her. It was quick when we got there, and I was in shock. Obviously, anybody's gonna be in shock. It was just like unexpected that we would get there and be at 9 centimeters dilated. Unexpected that it would take me 19 minutes to push her out. It was kind of just surreal experience. And it was funny because like we were reflecting on the time, and he was like, man, like that time was just like, I just remember thinking, this is such a vibe. Like there was good music. I had created a playlist that I was listening to for weeks before. And so that was playing in the background. It was just like, everybody was just chill and calm. And I remember at one time saying like, why is everybody so quiet? And the midwife was like, well, we're paying attention to you. Or somebody said it, I don't know, but it was great. So we were pregnant when we were still living in Texas. And originally I was thinking we need a doula because I'm about to have this baby in a hospital. And I hear like, you know, they're real important to have. Didn't really do much research into it, but those were the initial things that I had. And then when we moved back home to Kansas City, I was like, okay, well, we're going to have a baby at a birth center. I don't really know if I need a doula or not. And then I just randomly happened to join a Facebook group, and it was Lydia's group, and she posted a link for a birth class, and I took it, and they were talking about the importance of having a doula, and I was like, okay, this is the push I need. I need to get a doula. And honestly, the best decision and the best money spent that I think we both agree on that. I think the amount of knowledge that I was able to get from her was amazing. I mean, I really feel like that made the experience that much better because I knew everything to look forward to, everything to expect, and kind of nothing really took me by surprise. Like after Zalea came out, I was like, I could do this again. Like that wasn't bad because I just feel like I was very well prepared for it.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And especially like the breastfeeding, that was the biggest thing that stood out to me was like the lactation education that took place right there in the room once she was born, and just like how to get her latched and like the right positions for breastfeeding and what to expect in terms of like the early colostrum before the milk and all of those different things, just so that there was nothing that was like, yo, what the heck is that? What's going on? But like I feel like we had a really solid understanding of exactly what to expect, which helped us be more comfortable and feel more educated.
And then the postpartum, that was like, listen, Lydia was checking in on us like every day, every other day, making sure everything was okay. And I didn't even realize until we got out of that period, like how much of a like fog it was, because you're so tired, you're sleep deprived, you're hurting. Like I actually tore, and so your down there is hurting, your breasts are engorged, like just everything. And so when you get out of that, it's like, oh, that was like a whole nother. And so she was just making sure we were good and everything was, going well. And even after that, even after our time like officially ended, she still would check up on me and like ask like, hey y'all, how y'all doing? And like remind me about our breastfeeding support group, which has been a godsend. So it was an amazing experience.
I think the one thing I would want other families to know about having a doula is that the support is like unbelievably helpful. Like everything she's already mentioned, and plus just the peace of mind associated with just knowing that you have people around you that are prepared for the unthinkable or all types of different scenarios and circumstances. We were fortunate that everything went smoothly. We were blessed to have a healthy baby girl, 10 fingers, 10 toes. But, everybody's story is not the same. And so I'm just having that additional support.
And I think it's a great investment and it's worth the money. A lot of people go in not knowing as much, and if you have a doula, that's okay. you know, because then you have that person to kind of be like your information and give you that support. Look, what Lydia always say, you don't go to court without a lawyer. You better get your lawyer so you can make sure that everything's on the up and up.
We would absolutely recommend Lydia as a doula to others, for sure.
Absolutely. I would go as far as say I would recommend her over other doulas. And I'm saying that only because when you get Lydia, you not only get a doula, you also get a lactation consultant. You also get a nurse, a labor and delivery nurse. Like, you actually get everything in one. So get you a Lydia. We highly recommend.